Hello guys, a very warm welcome to my channel again. I'm coming at you with another update on AMC. So AMC is currently trading at 1587. It's just over 15 minutes into the power hour, the final hour of the day, and it seems like we've been dragged down again, but that's a good thing. And I'm going to make a case in this video as to why I am still bullish and why I feel like the patterns are holding. And if we make some key moves in the next coming days, then we should be good. So if you think about it, this was the main sort of pennant that we were looking at, which we broke here in November, December-ish. And then since then, we have been in this falling wedge, right? Let me just make this a little bit. All right, so we are in this falling wedge since December. And a couple of days ago, we broke out of it solidly, and now we are sort of retesting the resistance line, which is now going to become a support line, and then we should be able to see another move up, right? But here, as you can see, I have drawn out two possible movements of this stock from here. Let me go down to an even smaller time frame. So this is the hourly time frame, and as you can see, we are right at that resistance line, our downward falling wedge resistance line, which is now going to act as a support line. So if we can see a bounce up from here, this bar pattern indicates the sort of move up that we should see. If we see that, that would confirm the breakout of this downward falling wedge that we have been trading in, and this downward falling wedge has been proven. So there are multiple touch points, so and then there are solid breakout. So if you draw a fib from the bottom here to the top of this breakout, we are hovering somewhere around the 0.5 or the 618. Let's just quickly draw that out and see where we are. All right, so if we do that, we can see that we are hovering, well, we just crossed below the 0.5 fib. So 0.5 fib lines up with our resistance line here, which is a good thing, and that should hold. Usually any kind of channel breakout, the retracement is still the 0.5 fib, and we have respected it so far very well. Now a lot of people are saying that how can we see so much movement and then down? That's completely fair. In any kind of a channel breakout, we will see some sort of a retracement. As I was showing in my last video, we would want to, every time we break a level, we would want to see some sort of retracement and consolidation to make sure that the last point of resistance has now been turned into a last point of support, right? So we are in that 0.5. Now, if we come down, then we can very well play out this bars pattern here and retest the bottom of this falling wedge again. So there might be a downside. So I'm not predicting any values here, but we can again see $13.5 before making a move back up to test the top of this wedge, right? So that's usually how price will move. But so far it's looking extremely bullish. As you can see, we broke out, we retesting, and now we are planning to move up again. Hopefully this doesn't break down and we continue to hold that line, right? Now a few other things. The way I have done this is that these bars pattern that I have drawn is essentially this fractal here, sorry, just this particular fractal here. I have a feeling that it will play out either on the towards the top side or towards the bottom side. Either way, price has been moving pretty well. It's been chopping around. I can see that we have been on a downtrend for most of this day, but we are still on the power hour. We can see some uptrend, and even there can be some movement happening during the after hours as well. So I have a lingering feeling that this fractal can repeat in either way. So if it goes down, this is the same fractal here, it just follows down. If it moves up, then and this sort of respects the fibs as well. So I have good reason to believe that this may hold true. So like for example, if we move up, we're going to test these fractals, consolidate around the 0.236 before moving up, and as you can see, we have a resistance here on the earlier 238, right? And where we are in that is basically, if you take the fib from the very beginning of all the squeezes, right? So let me get rid of this one just to make sure. So from the lowest here in Jan 2021 to today, you can see sorry, till the high of our June squeeze, you can see that the 318 the 382 here acted as a resistance for us, right? You can see here the price came down, broke out, acted as a resistance, and then now we are retesting here. So ideally what I would like to see is price move up from here, right, and then cross this important fib, which is the 382, and a lot of different price pivots have happened at this point earlier. So once it crosses that, it comes down and sort of consolidates on that fib before we have another sort of move up. So if something like this happens, that would be awesome, guys. And I am a bull on this stock, as I've mentioned earlier, so I would like the price action to go this way. Now just a reminder, guys, none of this is financial advice. I am just showing you what I see as a technical analyst on a chart and on price action. So please do your own due diligence before making any investment. But why it's important to look at the technical analysis is also true, because you can see here, like, we printed a hammer candle on the 28th of Jan that shows reversal. We got the breakout and now we are retesting again. So that's overall, it's a very reversally kind of a mood. Today, of course, the volume has been low. Yesterday the volume was high, but most of that was selling pressure. So that's the reason why we see two red candles here. Also, important thing to note here is that if you see this line here, which is the red line, we are hanging on that sort of, we fell below it, and now we are hanging on top of it. We shouldn't break it, because this is a very important speed line that I have drawn from the very beginning of the squeeze. As you can see, this speed line, after the first squeeze, we found support there. We had support here in the mid 2020s, and then this speed line has been acting as a resistance so far. So if we break below the speed line again, if we quickly wick through it, that's fine. But if we break through it and then start consolidating under, then we can potentially see back down into this falling wedge, test the bottom, and then try a breakout again. So hopefully, guys, that's clear. Now these white lines that I have drawn here, I'm just going to make sure I'll change the opacity here again just to hide that. I just want to make sure that you remember that these white lines are basically our gap fill marks. So I have a nagging suspicion that AMC price action has a lot of gap fills in it. Now I have a nagging suspicion that gap fills are essentially like the computer's way of giving itself a signal, leaving sort of trail of breadcrumbs as the price goes down or goes up to sort of judge the levels. So this was a gap fill here, right? The gap occurred in 21st Jan. We filled it yesterday, and now we are trading under it. The next gap fill that needs to be filled is this one here, which is the 2055 range to this top of this wick. So that would be 20 to 2055. So that's around 50 cents. So if price does move up based on this sort of breakout, we should see some sort of a covering of this channel, this channel, before coming back down and consolidating before moving up again. right? And all of that sort of has to fall in line with the fibs as well. So you can draw trend-based fibs to sort of identify where the tops might be. So for example, if I take it from the bottom of this, oops, bottom, let me turn on my magnet so that I get the proper bottom, to the top here, to the bottom now. So let's say if we see some sort of a reversal, you can see that this zone is between the 618 and the 786. So those are two key fib levels as well. So that's how I see the stock currently. Now it's a good thing that we have seen a channel breakout. Now the other thing that I wanted to point out is that even if you don't consider this falling wedge, there is also a descending, broadening sort of wedge that is also playing out, which is also a bullish indicator, and we are still a ways to go in that one, in completing that particular pattern. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. So if we take it from the breakdown of this pennant, which if you remember was the main pennant that we've been working under, if you take it from the breakdown of that till today, you can see here that we are in a sort of a expanding, descending wedge or a megaphone structure. This is a bullish pattern, and you can see that this is getting respected. The midline, which is the mean line, is also getting respected very nicely, and we are right about that point. So it is a decision point. So we can quickly wick through it. That's fine, completely fine, guys. You don't have to, respect these to the dot, but it should give you a general idea that we are hovering at that point where we should see some sort of an upside, and even the top of this descending expanding megaphone is matching with this gap fill zone. So if we see a move up, this is the range that we should be targeting. So for all our day traders and scalpers and swing traders, this is the level that they are probably watching if they are bulls on this stock, right? So that's about it for today, guys. As I told you, I'm still bullish on this. It's still looking really nice and poised for some sort of a reversal. So let's hope that in the next, it's Tuesday. It's almost it's sorry, Wednesday. I'm sorry, I'm based in India. That's why I've seen that. But anyways, I really hope that this stock moves up, and thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me and showing your support. It really does mean a lot to me. And I'm intending to come out with regular technical analysis video where I will cover various different indicators and oscillators and how to predict prices and things like that. So appreciate your support, and see you again soon.